Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. The Twins again last night. They come from behind. The White Sox are doing everything they can to lose games. But we wake up this morning here, Pat, and not only are the Twins a season high 13 games over 500, they have the third highest team OPS in baseball. And they're fourth in run score. They're averaging 5 runs a game, which is fourth behind the Orioles, Yankees, and Dodgers offensively for the season.
And what are those numbers since May 1st? If you throw out April,
Yeah.
they got to be leading the nation because they were awful. They couldn't. They were striking out 12 times a game. What a concept. Rocco or somebody about a month into the season said, let's start putting the ball in play. What do you say, fellas? It's
this show has been saying that for 2 years.
Yes,
a bunch of idiots on microphones here. So maybe we should not give away 12 outs a game. How about that?
Yes, yeah. That's he'd strike out 7 times, 8 times, right? Something like that. But it's a change in philosophy that I'm not sure. I mean, just remember, these idiots 2 years ago signed Joey Gallo after he hit 160. They signed him knowing that he would strike out 40% of the time. So now they have finally weaned themselves off guys like that. Where did the change in philosophy come from? They might have come from right in Rocco's office because obviously their whole strategy, when you look at who they drafted for 4 or 5 years, guys like Sabato and, had no athletic ability at all, but could hit home runs. Their whole philosophy is the only way you can score runs is to hit home runs. And now it's just the opposite.
If they felt the need to relapse, Miguel Sano was just DFA'd yesterday by the Angels, so you could bring a strikeout guy back in if you felt.
You know what's interesting about that? Whether he's in shape or fat, he still can't get to the pitch. His swing is just not. He just can't catch up with modern pitching, and that's unfortunately for him. But at least he tried this time. A year ago, he didn't even try, and he was way out of shape. This time he got in shape, and he just can't catch up with a fastball. So, or any pitch for that matter. Anyway, yes, the Twins though. Last night, D game. They played their D game, and the Whiteys still managed to lose that one. Poor Schifrin. I don't know how he was doing last night. Phil, on Sunday, this idiot announcer of theirs, Schifrin, he thought they'd won the game. He thought Tommy Pham he was so excited he couldn't stand it because they were going to win their first road series since early May. And then Tommy Pham goes back and jumps up against the wall and gets the ball in his glove, and he says, he caught it, he got it. And Stone says, no, he didn't.
No.
The ball's laying on the ground. So the tying run scores, and 5 minutes later, Jake Berger, who left the Whiteys, hits a 3-run walk-off home run, and they lose to the mighty Marlins. And then he's got to come home last night and see that inning in which the Twins came in a luxury vehicle and carried them across home plate for like 3-4 runs to go ahead 5-2. They did nothing to earn it. And then they had the 5-2 lead, and they still gave it away and got beat. It's amazing.
Is he going to be a one and done? Are they going to stick with him for a few years? He's still pretty young. Right? Steve Stone. But by the way, Steve Stone still being around is pretty incredible.
Yeah,
in 2024.
I think Steve might be driven off the scene. But anyway,
it's like when you're old and like, could you envision training a puppy? I feel like when I listen to Steve Stone on those broadcasts, he's
right.
God, this new puppy just pissed all over the floor again and is keeping me awake at night.
Yeah, he should get a rolled up Chicago Tribune and hit the guy in the head with it every once in a while. Right?
Whack. Stoney's cashing that check, man. Stoney's just cashing that check.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you guys on the Twins because I think I'm going to write about this for tomorrow. Did you ever imagine, and I'm not talking about hitting as much as, did you ever imagine that we would see this Byron Buxton again? Did you ever think we would see this guy go from first to third like he was 22 years old again and go to first base like he's, hit a 35-foot hopper and be safe by 12 steps? Did you think we'd ever see this guy again?
and playing every night in center
not
field.
When May was done. No. And when we went through the spring, essentially April and May, Pat, I thought he's there to play the outfield, essentially.
Yeah.
So no, I've been pleasantly shocked that he looks like himself again.
The most amazing thing to me is the legs. Is that the other day in the background, if you're watching the game the other day, he's going around second, heading for third, and it's those gigantic strides that he had when he was a kid, and he's getting there as fast as he got there when he was the fastest guy he's ever been before all his legs. It's I don't think there's any doubt that he's giving you full effort all the time. He just was hurt, and it's the last year. I mean, think of it. Last year it was, well, we'll never see him play the outfield again, basically. Because remember, everybody was screaming about it. And I kept saying, hey, dummies, he can't play the outfield. He'll never play the outfield again. They've told us that, and basically they can't play him. And now he's playing the outfield and doing well. He might, and diving. He's just said, the hell with it. I'm going to play. I might not crash into the wall every 5 minutes, but I'm going to do everything I can and dive for balls. And he made the diving catch on a ball Sunday, and it's astounding to me that we're seeing what we're seeing from him, and it's had to have a lot to do with the way they're playing.
Yeah, and it's really hard for everything to go right. We've seen everything go wrong in Twin seasons, 2011. It's really hard for everything to go right. And, Pablo Lopez has an ERA over 5, and Reusse can't stay on the field.
Hurt again, yeah.
So not everything is perfect, but a lot of things are going right or really well, right? Correa's having maybe his best or second best offensive season. Byron Buxton, Brooks Lee comes up and has a hit in every game and looks like a guy. Jose Miranda. A lot of things are going right for this team.
I was just thinking, Phil, you're saying, how many times have you had, okay, this is one of our 3 or 4 most key players, meaning Reusse Lewis, and you can say, oh, that's okay, we got this other guy in St. Paul that's going to come over here and play, and he's now I've noticed as a hitter, he takes a lot of pitches. He's not afraid to get to 2 strikes because he gets a lot of 2-strike hits, Brooks Lee, but my whole life, when you lost a player like that, you didn't have a guy just sitting there waiting to replace him. So that's pretty phenomenal. And the funny thing about it is, everything you were hearing about Brooks Lee, when Reusse got hurt this time, you didn't have that, here we go feeling, because you thought maybe this guy can do it, and he can, at least at this point.
Speaking of guys that can do it, Wallner. Now, he's not perfect.
No,
but this looks like the guy we thought he was going to be, and that home run last night was just a laser.
Yeah, the home run he hit Sunday too was just about killed somebody. But then again, he had one at bat early when they were playing like clowns, where they'd throw him three high fastballs, and he was the long Wallner of April. He was behind on all 3 of them and struck out just easy. And I said, but then he. Plus, the other thing about the guy, he's a hell of an outfielder. He really is good. So I don't know. It is. You would have. I would have. I could have lost $5 if anybody told me this collection would be ever 13 games over 500. That's for sure. Now, the one concern from last night is Paddock's. He ain't going to get to the finish line. That's pretty mediocre stuff, and. He's out there battling his tail off, but he's not throwing the fire out of the ball.
No.
Gardy could not say he's throwing the fire out of the ball. They do have to get a starter if they want to take themselves seriously, don't you think?
And this is all like, the guy had 30 combined innings over the past couple of years.
It's not his fault. Not his fault.
He's got to be a reliever the last 2 months of the year, just in terms of innings load. So they got to go find somebody.
Yeah, and they don't, Louis is not the end. They don't have anybody nearly, unless they want to bring back the Dauber and have
The
him slip
Dauber.
slip up that, the sinker. See if he can go back to the 1964 sinker ball pitcher and be effective. We'll see
I
if
hope
that.
the Dauber's at least picking up some good catering for the minor league players down there, with that
Yes, for that
contract.
kind of money. That's right. That's right. But it was a hard game to watch last
Oof.
night. It lasted forever. I mean, it was just bad baseball. But Whitey's figured it out. And then you're down to Cody Funderburk for the bottom of the 10th, right? They won it in the 10th, right? Or was it the 11th?
11th.
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 Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. They both failed to score in the 10th because we had Durand, and they bring in Cody, and Cody gets behind 3-1, and you think, here he goes. He was more than willing to give him 4 or 5 runs, but they managed to pop out and make their outs. And God, how would you like to actually? I don't think many people care about the White Sox anymore, but how would you like to be somebody who's a diehard? You'd want to stab yourself with a pencil, wouldn't you? I mean, right in the eye, so you wouldn't have to watch it.
They announced the
unbelievable.
10,000 last
Oh,
night,
nobody there last night.
and I'm sure there's about 5 there. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, a couple of times on weekends, I guess they've given stuff away or something, and they've had some people show
Yeah.
up. But it's, oh man, alive. I mean, start of last year, you got all those young guys. Here comes, look out for Eloy, and look out for Robert, and look, they you looked at their roster last year, you thought they might be the best team in the division. And since then, they're 100 games under 500. What they end up last year? They won in the 60s, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were bad.
Were they a 100-loss team last year? I don't know.
They were bad.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's only the third 100-loss team in White Sox history last year.
Oh, my
100,
gosh.
100,
well, we're on to our
102 or
4th now.
Oh God, yes, they're gonna make. They could hit 120. It's wait till they lose their attitude. wait till they give up. Wait till they give up, man.
The Twins, meanwhile, they've been over 30,000 at some of these, like the
Yeah.
holiday weekend home games. We're packing. Now it helps you can't watch the games on TV, so you might as well go to the ballpark on July 6th.
In the big picture, though, it hurts them. But July, they didn't have a much big crowd on July 4th. Why didn't they shoot off fireworks Friday night?
Didn't they shoot them off on the 3rd?
Yes.
On
they
the-
shot 'em
And
off.
the
On the
4th
third,
was a
they
day
Wednesday
game.
night.
And the
Fourth
4th
was
was
a
a
day
day
game.
game.
4th was a day game. They
Plus
called
a
it
weekend.
after 7.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because Fridays when they usually shoot them
there.
off, and they didn't shoot them, but they had 30. Maybe people thought they were going to shoot off fireworks on Friday. I don't know, but they had a pretty good crowd. But it's there's some stuff going on here I mean, you watch that game last night and say, okay, you win this one, you're hot. You win a game when Big Fatty hits a home run, a walk-off home run off Hader one day, and then you play like mutts and you win anyway on the road. You're hot, man. You are hot.
Yeah. They right now on Baseball Reference, the Twins have the 8th best chance to win the World Series.
Yes, I saw that I saw the odds were, now that odd is still like 900 to 1 or something like that, but
Well, this says 6% chance to win the World Series.
okay, so that's
Do they
that's
win
a
the World
betting-
Series 6% of the time with this team?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's
But-
less than 6%.
The machines that we expected have not been that big. The Dodgers aren't quite as good as everybody thought with Mookie getting hurt, and the Yankees are,
They're playing under 500 the
playing
last.
Yeah.
terrible.
Baltimore's
terrible,
better.
Terrible lately. Baltimore's good, but they run into that pitcher that all of a sudden gives up. They gave up 18 runs the other day. So didn't they 18 something like that?
Yeah, to Oakland.
And who started that game? Cade Povich.
Yeah.
The lefty that they gave, that we were all lamenting that they gave up in that terrible. That was at the
Lopez trade, right?
Jorge Lopez.
trade.
Jorge Lopez.
Yes.
I saw he somewhere. Where is he?
Is he
Cubs.
back now? Let's Google him.
He saw
Cubs.
him pitching.
Cubs.
Oh, the
Cubs
Cubs.
signed him.
Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs are so desperate that they signed him.
The poor guy. Yeah. I think Pat's phone just rang there. But yeah, he basically had the he had the one lights out season.
Yeah, with Baltimore, he's
in
great.
22,
All-star.
and he's
Yeah.
been unplayable in like the other 6 years of his career.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, Pat definitely. I think Pat. Now it's possible Pat hit the emergency SOS button on his phone
Oh
again.
God.
Which has happened
don't
twice
do that
this
to
year.
Jonathan.
Well,
Poor
then
Jonathan.
both your guys' phones are about to ring from Jonathan asking the whereabouts of Pat.
I
Dude,
felt
the last
bad
thing
for
we
the
wanted
guy.
to
He
happen.
called me. He's like, Pat, it went off, and I'm like,
Pat,
don't
where
worry about
did
it.
you?
Pat's
You
fine.
didn't hit
I'm
the
back.
SOS button there again, did
I
you?
Yeah.
did. I forgot to. I forgot to put it on the airplane mode when I went on today.
Okay.
So you
See,
could
Judd
call.
and I have found that whenever we get frantic, like 3 missed phone calls from Jonathan Harrison, our old producer, we know that either you hit the SOS button on your phone or something's actually really wrong.
Something's
So
bad. Well, I saw the phone call was for the Pavic Museum, the radio thing, Hall of Fame.
yeah.
Had a deal last year where they got a bunch of us to read parts from the War of the Worlds, and they had an event, and they got another one coming up, and they're calling me because they want some crusty old SOB to read 3 lines, but I ain't doing it this year. So
You're
Wow,
not-
holding
you're
out.
trying the line.
yeah, well, I did it once. That's an experience I've already done. Anyway, what? So our Wolfies, have we ever been this excited about summer league to see what the bench is going to look like?
Yeah, there's a lot to. Yeah, Friday night in Vegas, 4:00, ESPN 2.
Isn't it amazing that now? Remember, like 8 years ago, people would say, "Well, once in a while you'd see a summer league game on tape." Now they're all on tape, and now they're all on.
They're alive.
The
It's a
arenas are
perfect-
packed.
it's
It's
a
like
perfect
celebrities
time.
show up.
The Jazz host one.
Yeah, and
going
it's
on
a
right now.
perfect time because the NFL training camps they're fitting it in before the NFL training camps are. Why? How would you like to be a player though and say, okay, we're not going to Vegas for the summer league. We're going.
Their Pavic's calling him back.
Patrick's like, you're a Hall of Famer. You agreed. You have to do this, Mr. Royce.
I guarantee, because that's usually what happens, right? They follow up a second time to make sure.
I
can't believe
can
you
you
turned
hear how
him
mad he
down.
is right now? I can just hear.
I
hear
can't
how-
believe you turned him down. He could have read like 3 sentences, for the Pavic Museum.
Yeah, they put him in the Minnesota Radio Hall of Fame.
I know. It's like, no. It's so Pat.
Are
No.
you excited for Mackie and Judd at some point, 30 years down the road, when Judd's got a feeding tube?
Oh, 30
And
years from
Of
now?
beer.
Yeah. No. Judd won't be there.
A feeding tube of IPA.
You can, no. Judd won't be there. I wish. No.
We always wait till they're like in their 70s to induct people into media Hall of Fames. That's our goal. The Minnesota Radio, whatever it's called in 30
It's going to
years.
have to change its name, though, because the podcasters.
The
like,
Media
what?
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we're going to have to be in.
They call you back there.
Yeah,
Little follow-up call?
Sorry, I finally put it on airplane mode. I didn't do it last time. So anyway, it's sorry.
I think you should do it, Pat. The
Leave me alone.
Pavic.
I
yeah.
did it once. I did it
think you should
once.
do it
You should
again.
do
I
it.
think you should
I
do
did
it.
it once.
They put you in the Hall of Fame. I
You're
mean,
a Hall of Famer.
Yes, and you know what it says on my bio out there? Rode Suture's coattails to Hall of Fame.
Hey, you got in. You
Yes.
got in.
Hey, the mayor and I were yesterday. Talk about 2 guys in sync, right? So it's been driving me crazy. This Hurricane Barrel, right? Barrel. Everything Barrel. It's Burl. My mother had a woman in her bridge club, Burl, Buryl. I was talking to Laura Halderson the other day, which coached Darwitz and Wendell. She had a mother, Burl, Berwl. Then everybody knows, and Suits has got a cousin named Burl. There's Buryl, Burl. And now they're saying Barrel. So I come on and I start the show and saying the Monday Night Sports Talk with a tirade about them screwing up this name. And Suits had started his regular show with the same tirade. So there's 2 guys. There's a lot of stuff going around. We have tragedy and stuff like that, but we're both really upset about the fact that they're pronouncing the hurricane Barrel instead of Burl. They're always named after women, right? So this is an old name. It's from the 1920s. So as I said, can you say, "Oh, that little girl of ours is so cute. Let's name her after that big thing we have catching rain outside the barn there."
By the way,
Beryl.
who's they? Who's on the committee to
I
name
don't know.
hurricanes?
There's the
Great
National
question.
Weather Service, and they also are the ones that sent out the false pronunciation. So it's not, but Beryl. But when my TV downstairs comes on, for some reason, I get a weather channel pops up of some kind, Fox News or something. They are so excited about this. They can't stand it. They just sit there and pray for hurricanes. And
Yes,
so
yes.
what? It could be death and destruction, but
Good.
it does wonders for our ratings.
Ratings,
It's
yes,
fantastic.
Then they
ratings.
go outside and they
Oh, go
stand in it and they
outside,
get
yeah.
blown sideways. It's just
Oh God, yes.
fantastic.
You know who's the first guy to do that? That made his career? Dan Rather.
Dan Rather, yeah.
Hurricane Camellia, I believe, in Alabama. He was just a local
In the
news
60s.
guy.
Yeah.
My
The local
favorite
news
is
guys.
there was the
Yeah.
one where the guy was like, it was a tight shot, and he's like
Yeah.
barely able to stand up, and then in the background you see someone just walking normally
He's
across.
walking the dog down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lying to you, folks. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't know though. You're not getting me to live any place near water.
No.
I believe the ocean being warm is a bad thing. That's what I believe as far as
Yeah.
hurricanes are concerned. That's a place where the mayor and I are not in agreement. Such and I, he thinks it's all just a coincidence, but that the ocean's warmer these days. But there's going to be so damn many hurricanes. It's going to be unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We get love just up here. We get a little rain once in a while, a little flood, but
is there
let's take
anywhere in the
everything.
country that can you live anywhere in the United, like the 48 states, where you don't have to worry about hurricanes, tornadoes, massive earthquakes?
San
Like, where's the
Diego.
sweet spot?
I think San
No.
Diego,
San
right?
Diego, San
It's
Diego,
earthquakes,
great.
man.
Earthquakes. Alaska?
Yeah.
Alaska?
Seattle, where you live, they don't have anything, do they?
That doesn't count in
Nah.
continental, but I don't.
Yeah,
I
That's a
think
good point.
Alaska's-
Yes, Seattle has no tornadoes,
No hurricanes,
no mosquitoes.
no more. By the way, they're starting to show up.
Oh God, they're
Oh,
horrible.
Skeeters.
I got
It's bad.
chowed this weekend.
I had a fly problem
All
again
over.
yesterday, Pat.
Oh,
It was
God.
hell. I was
Well.
running around with a newspaper. You know what? You want to subscribe to a paper just to kill the damn flies?
Yes, you do.
You can't hit them with a computer. Hey,
Please don't
hold on, here's my
stop.
laptop.
Steve, please. Hey, by the way, I got to give our Randy Johnson the credit for a great piece today in the Star Tribune on Darius Taylor and his father, who's in prison till 2043, and he talks to him all day. And RJ did a great job on that thing. I had no idea about the kid's background, so it's a big long reader in the paper today. And yeah, the guy he was. When the kid was young, I think when the kid was 4 years old, he shot a relative or something. The old man, he said, he's already lost a couple of appeals, and he's in there till 2043. So,
Yeah.
That's a good piece.
Support your paper. Support the Star Tribune. The
Yes.
hard copy.
Fly
Good way to
swatters.
kill
Even
flies.
if you don't
It's a
read
great
it,
fly swatter
roll,
ever.
roll it up and
Bang.
kill some.
Yes.
Kill
I
some
killed
insects.
5 of them yesterday.
That's right.
Wow.
And 2
That's
mice.
right. All right, stop calling me while I'm on the air, people. Okay,
All
when you
right.
do that, because I keep forgetting to hit the airplane mode. So
All right,
now
Pat.
what the trouble is, I've hit the airplane mode, so I'll now have it off
Now,
all
you
day.
gotta remember.
You will.
You gotta remember to turn it off.
Yes. All right, gentlemen. See
All
ya.
right,
Thanks,
Patrick
Patrick.
Reusse. Reusse Unchained here on SKOR North.